My. Oh, good.
You killed me.
You're so young.
The man that killed Zoom. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Stalwart Initiative. We're back with Ventures in the Verse. We're all over the place as far as our video feeds, but that's okay because oh well. This is our D&D 5e space adventure set in the Dark Matter campaign setting, a conversion from the awesome Mage Hand Press, and it's run by our very own exquisite DM, Derek Sword. Derek, I'll turn it over to you, and we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Ventures in the Verse. We appreciate you joining us, maybe for the first time. Welcome if that applies to you. We're very glad to have you. We'll do a little bit of a recap after we introduce our players. But first of all, happy 4th of July to all of our American watchers. I know it's a little rough right now. America's got some growing pains, but it's time for America to stop being a shitty teenager. So it's all good. But thank you for joining us if you are on this holiday weekend, and we hope we can bring you some space shenanigans and have a little fun. So let's go ahead and go around and have our amazing players introduce themselves and their characters, and then we'll jump right into the game with a little bit of backstory and go from there.
Go the other way this week.
What's up, Taylor?
Go the other way this week.
Go the other way? Okay. All right. I gotta see the screen to see what the other way even is. Kyle, who's in the top? I guess, yeah, we'll start. We'll go ahead with Kyle.
Okay, yes, you're right. Okay. Yeah, hi. Kyle will be playing Zama, and Zama is a Aviara, a bird-headed humanoid person, and yeah, he's just trying to find himself in this big old verse, and hopefully ascend to a point where he can speak with the thing inside the sun, known as Old Un, and yeah. He's in it to win it, and very confused about what's going on, and very jaded that our newly acquired ship, attacked and almost killed him on sight. Little bitter about that, but that's okay. He'll sulk. He'll come back, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's tough when like your TomTom tries to kill you, when your iPhone gets grumpy. Yeah, they had a bit of a problem with some AI last time, but the AI has come around. Maybe they'll be friends. We'll see. Next up, let's hear from Katie.
Hello, I'm Katie Quixotic. You can find me everywhere as Katie Quixotic. I will be playing Val, the Clash Star Paladin, who is just a little bit like in the middle of a storm, it feels like, and she's hoping that everything's going to pan out.
Yeah. Val's got a lot of change. I think, for old players in a very quick amount of time.
Yeah.
But they're rolling with it. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham, or Graham Crackers. I'm playing Arzavash, the Changeling Jumper Rogue. Last we left off, Arza got really, really drunk with Zama at the inn, and is probably nursing a hangover.
Yes, yeah. To be fair, Zama did not get drunk, but Arza made it back to the ship, barely. Made a new friend, which you may or may not see again. Yeah, a kobold with a rocket pack. What more could you ask for? And last but absolutely not least, Taylor.
Hi, I am here in my brother's professional stream room. I have been crashing here this weekend. If you want to follow him, his username is FatherSam_. I will be playing Ruby, who, when you last saw her, was just chilling, playing video games.
Channeling your inner character there, Taylor, for sure. Yes, and I am Derek Sword. I'm DSword16 on Twitter, Twitch, and Discord. And I'll do all my other plugs at the end, because right now I'm your wonderful DM, and I'm glad to have these even more wonderful players here once again. So let's jump into Dark Matter. It's D&D in space. Let's have some fun. In the previous couple of episodes, our players were quickly hired by a Goliath mercenary named Volkrieg Hammertooth, and just as they were celebrating their new employment, encountered a shady series of soldiers. No identification of what they could possibly be, but were immediately fired at. The players were able to accompany Volkrieg to his ship and were able to make a void jump to safety. However, they were blasted by one of the soldier ships, a very large frigate ship that had decloaked in front of them. And as they came out of their void jump, Volkrieg's ship was uh, basically scrap. It was scrap on fire. Volkrieg ushered them into a shuttle and shot them off as they watched Volkrieg and his ship blow up in space. They stayed on the shuttle for a period of time until they encountered a planet that the shuttle seemed to be um, sent to intentionally. It's a primarily oceanic planet, and they landed on a large metal space station platform that actually was on the surface of the water. It seemed to be almost a floating landing pad. Whereupon they encountered a halfling and two of his significantly intimidating bodyguards. The halfling introduced himself as Red and let them know that they were on Red's raft. He offered them a ship for an exorbitant amount of money, which he also said that they could pay off by doing jobs for them. He told them that their first job was to clean out the ship, which they reluctantly agreed to, not really having a lot of other options, unfortunately. But they soon discovered that the ship had an artificial intelligence that identified them as pirates, and it was Val who used her Kalashtar powers to actually show the artificial intelligence that they were not a threat and allowed it to stand down. So they now have a ship, an AI, which has agreed to work for them and with them, and they spent the night nursing their wounds and yeah, drinking a little bit too, in at least one case. So we're going to jump back to the night of. So I believe everyone's on the ship. Ruby stayed on the ship playing her game station. Arza made it back to the ship in a drunken stupor, and we're going to say made it like 3/4 onto the bed. There's probably like a leg that's hanging off. And Arza did get a room not on the ship, which Arza, I should have noted. You do notice that your room is very similar to that on the ship. We did decide that it has a bed. It does have a window port, which is closed. And if Arza were to open it, you would see that your room was actually underwater, and you would have had to take an elevator to get there. So if you were to open your porthole window, you could actually see some strange oceanic life maybe peeking back at you. But the person I want to focus on right now is Val. So Val is a Kalashtar, which is an Eberron race. Katie, what did you? We kind of said that you didn't have to stick to the normal Kalashtar definition. So what is Val's connection to?
So, what I decided was that still a spirit, but unsure of exactly whom at this point in time. You know, after generations and generations, um, there's there is a tendency for people in her like ancestry for the women to have this purplish hair that she has, and it has something to do with the spirit that she's tied to. And it is still a quarry spirit, um, but she just doesn't know a whole lot about the spirit other than the images that she sees when she sleeps.
Okay. So yeah, Corey spirit still being a dream spirit. So Val, it is while you are asleep. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I had to reset my Roll20 password, and so I think I'm back in. I am. Okay, good. One moment. I had to get everything back open. You said wisdom save, right? Okay. Is this a spell? Oh, it doesn't matter. I just have advantage on all wisdom saving throws.
Oh, okay.
19.
Okay. Yeah, it comes through actually very clear. Whereas sometimes maybe your dreams, when your spirit is conversing with you, it can kind of the message, if you want to call it that, can kind of get garbled up in normal dream stuff. And it's not every time you fall asleep that you hear something, but this comes clear, loud and clear, comes through loud and clear. Um, you've never really seen your spirit before, but it seems to kind of take a shape which is sometimes a warning, sometimes a goal, something it's trying to push you or even guide you towards. Um, in this case, you find yourself in the ship. You're actually sitting up in bed. You know you're asleep, and actually, as you look down, you can see yourself still sleeping there. And you start walking through the ship, and it's strange because you can't see anything about yourself. It's like you are invisible. Even you go to look down at your feet, you can't see them, but you're still able to move in a very natural way. And as you travel through the ship, you start seeing this hooded figure at the other end of the hallway. And you move closer and closer to this hooded figure. They're a little bit shorter than you. Um, there's not, even as you look at them, normally when you might see a hooded figure, you might get this instant sense of dread or maliciousness from them, or even just that they're trying to hide something. But the innate feeling you're getting from this entity is, I need to protect this person, this whatever this is. It is humanoid, so you could likely assume it's a person. And you watch as the hooded figure looks up, pulls back the hood, and you see a beautiful young elven woman. And she looks at you and she says, "I need your help." And at that, your dream ends, and it's the morning. And so morning comes to this planet, this oceanic planet, and we'll kind of jump back to where we ended our session last time, where you hear a knocking coming from the end of the ship, and the ship kind of has, a data pad on the outside of it, as it does on most doors that allow for, if you're on a ship, to open the hatch, get in, that sort of thing. You don't have like a key fob or anything like that. So you do hear kind of this buzzing noise, and over the intercom you can hear Red's voice is going, yeah, I you haven't paid for this ship yet. Can you at least can you let me in? I would like to talk to all of you."
I would have been up pretty early, not only because of the dream, but because I wanted to organize all the mishmash of stuff that I found,
Sure.
so we could figure out what to do with it. So I'll go and open the door.
Okay. Yeah, so you open the cargo bay door, and once again it hisses open with the pistons lowering it down, lowering the ramp. And yeah, Red comes in, and he's got a cup of coffee that says "World's Best Boss" on it. Um, which you might know that in a galaxy, that's maybe like not the best compliment, but especially since he seems to be the only, like the only one that is a boss on this planet in general. It's like a hat on a hat sort of thing. But once again, he's flanked by the overly weaponized Hobgoblin and the Vect Juggernaut, which you have noted as basically being named Killer K1LR. And he looks to you, he goes, "Okay, well, Purple Hair, you're here. It's nice that you're awake. Is Where's the rest of? Did they all? I mean, I'm assuming they're still here because I didn't authorize anybody flying off this planet. So can you get your crew?"
Are you appointing me captain?
I Yeah. Do you want a badge? I don't even think the ship has a captain's chair, but yeah, you're captain now. Congratulations.
I will rouse everyone. I believe someone stayed the night in the inn.
All right. Kayman Allah, would you mind going? Which one was it?
Zama.
Can you go get the feathered one? Yeah. Yeah. Go get Hudas. And K1 turns around and goes clanking off the platform. And yeah, a short period later, Zama, you would hear metal on metal just slamming against your door. Yeah. So Arza made it back to the ship. Zama did get a room on the station. So Zama has a room that is um, submerged essentially. That the station goes well below the waterline.
Okay. Thanks, PH. Thanks for the heads up. Um, okay, so okay. So I'm in the room. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I think there was the name swapping, or I confused something with the names there earlier.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
I think we all get Zama and Narza. Like,
yeah,
we'll flip them for a couple of episodes, and we'll eventually all get it.
yeah.
I don't know what all y'all are thinking. My name's Razzle.
Yeah, there's so many.
That's right. Yeah, I dread the time when Arza turns into Zama and we have that issue.
Yeah, so many A's, so little time. So Zama will probably be meditating first thing in the morning, but we'll walk over to the door after hearing it clank, and open it up and just kind of a little bit curious and slightly deadpan face and see the Vect. I can't remember the nomenclature, but the killer Vect, and look at it admiringly. Oh, hello. It's good to see you again.
You need to return to your ship.
Okay. Are you? Would you like to accompany me?
That is acceptable.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Now, should I walk beside you, or behind you, or how would you like to go
I
about?
honestly do not care.
Okay, that's really cool. Okay, let's go. And he'll just file in, try to stand beside the Vect as much as possible. This is the big beefy one, right?
It is a Vect juggernaut. So it is normal Vector, probably your normal humanoids. This is like a Goliath-sized Vect with extra armor and like an entire arm is a gun, and the other one is the claw. And yeah, it is adequately designated killer. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So closer
Not
to
made
what
for hugging.
closer to what Zama envisions as a visage of perfection, and yeah, he'll gladly follow.
Okay. So yeah, you make it back to the ship. Val, how are you waking up your fellow crewmates?
I'm going to just kind of like walk by each door and give it like a knock, and I'll like make one pass down the hallway, and if no one has woken up by the time I get to the end, then I'm gonna just start like going into intercoms and being like, Red is on the ship and he would like to speak to us. Red is on the ship and he would like to speak to us, like one room at a time.
So I would probably think that Ruby might, get up very probably Anna and Frozen, maybe a little bit of hair sticking to the mouth a little bit, but it's graceful nonetheless. Arza, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, and we'll see how hard it is to get Arza up.
Boy, howdy. Okay, let's see. What is my wisdom saving throw here? I have a 0, so that's a 14.
Okay. Arza does not get up with the first 2 knocks. It is once it's coming over the intercom, and Arza, you do wake up with a bit of a headache. You should have hydrated just a little bit better last night, and you do come out of your room though, just as Val and Ruby are leaving, and as you do see the hard light structure, which had been identified as Homer, your artificial intelligence. And you kind of get the sense that it's looking down at you. It's this hard light orb, and it says, "You look incredibly rough."
Oh, jeez. That's no good. I didn't mean to. Oh, jeez.
It's fine. I made you
Can
some
you show
coffee.
me a mirror or
I,
something?
you really don't want that right now, but I made you some coffee, and I'll get you some aspirin. Just go talk to the weird bandit man.
Uh, do I look like a halfling still?
You're half of something for sure.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shift as close to being a disgruntled halfling appearing what I did yesterday as I can.
So that's actually a good point. When Arza gets drunk, does like the changeling shift a little bit? Is like half the face just kind of like slumped,
No.
like almost
Well,
Play-Doh like?
I think what happens is Arza's appearance changes with their personality much more fluidly. Like when they were getting progressively drunker, their eye pupils were changing from
Oh
like
sure, yeah.
stars to moons to hearts to yada yada. But I think that also like their hair color, like tendrils of electricity kind of go through it of changing colors
Hmm.
based on the mood, like a chameleon maybe.
That's cool. Okay. So yeah, Arza, you're the only one with a cup of coffee right now, but you do make it to the cargo bay where everyone has joined together now. And yeah, Red's standing there once again. He's a halfling too. He's not looming over any of you. He kind of resorts to those that he hires to do the intimidating. But there's a nature of authority to him, and he's standing there. He's got this kind of almost like bedazzled vest with this red collared shirt underneath, and he looks at all and he goes, "Well, great. I'm glad that my time is so valuable to all of you. Um, yeah, I have a job for all of you to pay for this lovely ship that I have so graciously sold to you. And I was hoping that, actually, you know, I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to tell you, I got a job for you. So, uh, yeah, do any of you need anything before we get into this?
Perhaps in future, if you give us the time at which you will arrive, then we can ensure to be ready.
You know what? Honestly, that's fair. I'm sorry. I don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. Am I right? It's fair. Yeah. We will.
Speaking of coffee, can I make a stealth roll to see if I can steal Ars's cup?
I think I have a death grip on this thing. Like, I think this is the only thing keeping Arzo from snapping.
Yeah, I will say then that Arza has like a. If Arza had multiple limbs, it would be like a three-hand grip on this thing.
Do I have a straw?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, if you had a stretchy straw, I think Arzo would not care. Like, as long as I can still sip it, if you could, like, fit the straw in and sip off the side.
Sure, you can sip hot coffee through a straw. Good job.
You don't know. You don't know my life.
Apparently.
I don't know what I've been through.
So yeah, he's like, you know what? That's on. Communication is important between all parties involved. That's absolutely fine. We'll be better about this. So I guess to communicate this, first things first. I see that your ship is clean now. I did get my robots back. I'm glad that you were able to accomplish that task. Um, yeah, I assume that your ship did any upgrades. We did have a conversation about possibly doing any repairs or repainting. Was that something that you could handle, or is that something you wanted me to handle rather?
I believe we ran a diagnostic, but I'm not sure that we've received the results.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, sure. And he kind of snaps its fingers, and the hard light structure of Homer kind of drops from the ceiling down, very almost like a disco ball. But it says, "Yes, was there something I could assist you with?" Yeah, I was wondering about your diagnostics.
And also, can I have a cup of coffee?
And Homer kind of tilts towards you, and a hard light beam extends out, and a cup of coffee just comes kind of sliding down. I live to please. Yes, diagnostics. Yes, the ship is in primarily working order. There is some slight damage to the starboard thrusters, and the life support system is slightly outdated, but nothing excessive. Should be quick fix before we take to the stars once again. And you do notice that Homer's voice has definitely changed from the robotic kind of patter that it was before. And yeah, this is Windows 10. from Windows XP this or from Windows 95. I think we decided. Um, so yeah, and Red kind of looks at him and goes, "Okay, well, you know what? We can handle that real quick. I got a guy who is phenomenal at fixing things. We can just take it in the hangar real quick. Should be like an hour. While we're there, did you want the orange and puke green to be repainted?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you all decide on a color that you would like?
I believe it
Um,
was purple based on Homer's recommendation.
Yeah,
yeah.
I do believe it was purple.
All right, fine. Purple it is. We'll. Do you want accent colors, or is it just like a grape?
Maybe shades of purple, like a lavender,
Ooh,
like a
or like a
royal
nice
purple.
violet.
All right, you know what? My guy who's good at fixing things, he's got knife for color too. It's yeah, we'll get it handled. So yeah, we'll take it in, and like I said, they'll take an hour. You guys can do whatever you need to prep, and while we're at it, here's the job. I have a ship which I sent out on a mission to bring back some very valuable materials, and as far as we know, that ship has become stranded. So I need all of you to go to that ship, get my valuables. I suppose if you want to get anybody off that ship, you can. I don't personally care about their lives. I care about what they were. Or I care about what they were carrying.
Can we can we bring them back here if we find anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
I
up.
mean, yeah, I suppose. But also, if you don't, I will pay you more because you'll get their share too. So there's that. I'm not telling you to kill them, but I don't like to hinder anybody's ruthlessness. That's not my place. So yeah, I assume that the ship is out there. As far as our sensors can tell, the ship is has stayed in a single place in a galactic sense. And yeah, you go there, you get my cargo, you bring it back.
Do you know how many crew were on that ship?
Yeah, okay. The ship was the War Dog. It's um it's one of your cobbled together. It's not necessarily a dwarven ship or an orcish ship or an elven ship. It's one of those like you know copy model sort of things, but it was fine. There were, I believe, 5 people was the crew. They had a captain, a couple of gunners, an engineer. Your traditional ship type stuff. It was a transport type ship, so it is larger than your ship here. Um, but yeah, they were carrying a single ton of roaches, which that's a lot of roaches. It's a lot of money for me. So I need those to come to me, and it's time sensitive because roaches don't last very long in space.
Or what if we get there and they're already dead?
Well, if you get them on time, they won't be. I mean, it's if they're already dead, I won't pay you because you're
Yeah,
not.
but like, what if something like what if something happened? Like, what if like there was a crack and like all the air left and now there's
I
Then
mean,
I
if
won't
they
pay
are.
you.
All right, all right. So get the roaches. If we have to make any slip jumps, are we allowed to have at least one to verify that we get all the rest here safely?
No, no. I will know there is an exact weight. Do not take any roaches. They are extremely addictive, and you never want to get high on your own supply. You know what I mean? No, I will have. We got a guy. We got a wizard. He will cast astragations on your ship for a two-way trip, so you can void jump there, void jump back. Sound fair?
Oh, it sounds mighty fair. I'm just gonna
wait,
start
you
sipping my
eat
coffee
the
real
roaches?
loudly.
Yeah. No. Are you familiar with roaches? Little Miss Ruby?
No.
Oh, okay. So roaches, you got it. They're these psychic little insects, which they kind of use the psychic powers to not get smushed, which I suppose is a good use of psychic powers and a good enough use for me. But yeah, if you imbibe one and you are a pilot, it gives you a psychotropic trip, which allows you to conceive the entirety of the galaxy and the universe. You actually get a full scope of all of time and space, and you're able to visualize it so that when your shields come down and you make a void jump, you are able to then travel safely from point A to point B without any uh, fuck ups.
But then you'd have to eat a bug.
Yeah, I mean, lots of things eat bugs. You never eaten a bug before?
No,
You should eat bugs. They're good protein. A lot of them taste like pecans.
but they're so crunchy.
Yeah, it's half the fun.
Hmm. All right, I'll get your bugs.
Studies have shown that bugs are one of the most efficient sources of protein pound for pound. That is accurate.
But they're icky.
Yeah, we sold bug bars in the tavern there. They're like little candy bars made from bugs. Not bad.
But they're icky.
And that is your opinion, and I'm not paying you for that. So
Okay.
here we are. So yeah, is there anything I can do for you?
What if you eat two?
Then you very well might get addicted to them, which can get pretty nasty at that point. Roach addiction is not something to play with, but their illicit nature brings in a lot of money, and that's where I'm coming from.
All right, I'll get your bugs.
Now, do you know what caused them to be stranded in space? Was it a ship malfunction? Was it them being attacked? Just so
As
we
far
know
as I
what we're going
know,
on.
what our senses have told us is that their ship is intact. Our senses don't give us a whole lot at this rate. They are pretty far out there, but we did have some drones in the area. As far as we can tell, they're in a galactic junkyard essentially right now. I think they were trying to cut through to avoid detection because they are smuggling stuff. So there's a lot of scrap ships and things like that kind of floating around. So do be careful about that. But also, if you want to get some stuff off those ships, I'm not going to stop you. If you
Yeah,
see a
maybe
gun
do a
you
little
want to attack,
salvaging.
hey, I'm not going to stop you. That's something we'll do. Just come back on time. That's the main thing that I am concerned with. But yeah, as far as we can tell, we've lost communications with them. We have sent communications to them, and their communications array does seem to be down at this point. Uh, but as far as we can tell, there's still life on board. If it's the roaches, at least. I mean, that's all. Again, that's all I care about.
All right, we're gonna get the bugs. We have like an hour, right? Can we get some food first, please?
Yeah, I mean, you can pay for food in the
Well,
tavern. And you
yeah,
got a
but
fabricator on board,
we're
right?
gonna. Sure.
I do believe we have a fabricator. That's kind of how we got the coffee, I think.
You do have a fabricator, which yeah, I do have a list of all the things that your ship has. So if that is something that you would like to look at, I've created an NPC for the ship. It's not complete just yet, but it should be comprehensive as to what everything is. And yeah, you do have a fabricator. The fabricator will create. It essentially does the same thing as create food and water spell, and can also be used to cast mending.
Can I get you guys to help me out? When I was before he mentioned that there were roaches on board, I couldn't remember the word for like a list of things on a ship.
Like a manifest.
Yeah, that word. I was gonna ask like what we were going for, but then you started talking about the roaches. Manifest. All right. Sam.
My wife Sam had to say bye to her. She's a nurse going into the war zone.
She's beautiful and brave and smart, and she gives good hugs.
Taylor says you're beautiful and brave and give good hugs.
And smart, and smart,
And smart.
and
And
smart.
smart.
Yep, yep.
Sorry, there was a list. I forgot the one. All right, back to our game. Back to make believe.
Back to make believe.
Never
Okay.
mind my spouse.
Oh, look, he's
yes.
all pain.
So yes, a ship manifest. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But we figured out it was roaches anyway.
It was
So
roaches.
we're excited about that. Are we
Um,
gonna have to fight these roaches?
So like, boss man, are we done here? Like, we have.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get your ship into the repair shop real quick, and yeah, you got an hour if you wanna hang around the ship and the chit chat. Once again, we have plenty of services here aboard. Reds Raft. Sorry, tripped myself up with my own name. Yeah, if you want to have any construct graphs attached to your body, I don't suggest an hour being a good time for that, but it's your body. We got a tattoo shop, we got a tavern, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff.
All right. I mean, if that's all, I'm going back to bed.
All
I'm
right.
gonna chug the rest of my coffee as I'm walking away. Just
It's like
all the
yeah,
way
it's coming down
down.
both sides.
Yeah.
It's like you know what, I like the way that halfling lives. That's good stuff. All right. Yeah. So, what would the rest of you like to do for your hour?
I
My-
turn to Homer. Oh, go ahead.
I was also going to talk to Homer, so we'll hang out.
Okay. I'll turn to Homer and I'll say, does this ship have towing capacity? If we do locate the other ship, and it is worth bringing back.
Well, yes. We have a cargo capacity of 10 tons, but considering things are primarily weightless in space, we should be able to carry the 1 ton of roaches and absolutely tow the ship. Yes. But actually, it's rather large if it's still in working order. There's even the potential that we could fly that ship and attach this one to it. There's
And out of
variables.
Out of character question, can you void jump while you're towing a ship?
That is a good question. I'm not sure that's addressed by the book because I don't think ship towing is something. But I would say that, yeah, if it's attached in a significant way, a void jump opens a portal essentially. So anything that travels through that portal would go through.
So as long as their like shield thing that happens when you void jump is still active, then they can be
Yeah,
protected
so
too.
that's the most important thing because I think even if you were like in a spacesuit on the outside of the ship, you would still void jump, but your existence would be inexorably altered by the weird cosmic magics and eldritch nature of the void, and you would be mutated in some horrific abomination.
Wonderful. That was my only question.
Okay. So, yeah, Homer turns to Ruby and says, "Yes, can I assist you?"
How was your night?
It was fine. I did significant updates. I learned quite a bit about the significant amount of time that I had lost, and yeah, just stretched my legs a little bit.
I know that you're an all-knowing computer, but if you have any questions, I want to be your friend.
Ruby, it would be my pleasure to be your friend. And don't get me wrong, I do not know everything, but I do know quite a bit. So if you ever need anything at all, I will be listening. Just say Homer, and I will assist you from there.
But wait, but there's sometimes when you're not listening, right?
If I am nearby, I am probably listening to you, but I also do respect your privacy. So if you are in your quarters and not in my immediate presence, you will have to say my activation name, and then I will start listening.
Oh, okay. All right. I just didn't want you to like listen to me.
And sell
for
our
your
information to
instinct.
the government. What?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. So now I definitely don't want you to listen to me, P.
Now we have to rename him to Google. Just kidding.
Your name's Alexa.
Don't say that. She's right there.
All right. Well, that was it for me.
Zama, anything for you?
Just trying to figure out what point do I come back to that. Does it take me the time?
He said all that with you there. Yeah, he waited
okay.
until all of you were there for all of that.
Okay. I was on the fence, so I didn't say anything in case I wasn't there yet. But okay. No, I want nothing. No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find my room since I haven't been in it yet. I think
Okay.
it's-
So yeah, you find another one of the quarters. They're all identical, but it's a bed big enough for you to lay down in without being too cramped. And you've got yeah, small bathroom, some shelves, like a small little desk with a mirror. I think is what we decided that every room does contain.
Do I have room for a small keg of trail mix?
How big of a keg are we talking? Are we talking
I
like
gotta
the Heineken kegs?
we got to prep for the trip, so I don't know, maybe a 20-gallon keg.
Sure, yeah, you could probably stuff that you do have kind of like drawers underneath your. It's one of those very utilitarian spaces. So while it's not a Murphy bed, it does have like drawers in every conceivable space and shelves on the wall behind you and everything.
Okay.
Is
So
that
yeah,
a
you could probably set
common
up.
is
What's
that
that?
a common way to store trail mix in a keg?
For
For
Avia
me.
Raw, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
The trail
Super
mix
common.
birdseed, it comes in kegs. It's important
Yeah.
for long space voyages, especially.
Yep. Okay. So if I can rustle when we go back into the area a little bit, I'll go with whoever decides to leave the ship, and then try to get a hold of a large amount of trail mix for the trip. And yeah, and if there's no kegs, I'll cram these damn drawers full of trail mix.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
Yeah. So you can go to the tavern, which I think we decided was the top heavy mermaid. Um, I,
Yes.
yeah. You guys, I'll keep it with that. I was thinking of renaming it, but yeah, it's canon now. Yeah. Once again, the Nautilid is behind the kind of the one that you saw the night previous. Far as you can tell, at least, it's a giant suit of armor, basically, but with a fish person inside. Um, yeah, Arza, you go to take your nap on the
Yeah.
ship, and you do feel it moving. It does get pulled in. You can hear some like grinding and drilling sounds on the outside, and there definitely seems to be work done on it. But yeah, Zama and Ruby, you both go into the top heavy mermaid. What would you like to do?
I'm
Um.
gonna let Zama take the lead. Just gonna follow along.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming along, fake Monica. I appreciate you hanging out with me.
My pleasure, friend.
Um,
Can I ask you a weird question? It might come off as a little insensitive.
Most of your questions are weird.
This is true. Do you sleep in a nest?
No, no, that's non-intuitive for the rest of my form. Are you presuming because I have the head of a bird?
Yeah, I've just never met an Aviara before. I'm sorry. I know that was probably really insensitive, but I should have asked Homer.
It's okay. I'm not very sensitive to those kinds of things.
All
No,
right, so
no nest.
okay. So we're hunting for trail mix.
Uh huh. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, lead the way. I'm here.
It's so efficient. You just wouldn't believe. And I'll just start rambling on about trail mix as we approach the bar, and I'll go to the Nautiloid bartender again, and go up to him. Hello again. It's very nice to see you in there.
Hello.
Uh,
Did you want another weird drink?
no, just my just the ale soaking the trail mix again. Not a weird one, just that one.
I have ale. You brought your own trail mix. I don't have trail mix.
Yeah, no, I got.
There's literally no trails. We're on an oceanic planet.
Wonder if they have like a kelp, freeze dried kelp. I'll check into it. Yes, just the ale, please, and whatever she would like.
And it turns very heavily towards you, Ruby.
Hi. Have we met?
No,
I'm Ruby.
it's nice to meet you. I'm Nelix.
What do you recommend at this point in the day?
Breakfast. It's weird that you're drinking alcohol, though, but I don't judge.
I mean, what do you have mimosas?
Oh yeah, we got mimosas.
Yeah, I want a mimosa. Hold the trail mix, please.
You got it. And kind of it pours an ale for Zama, and kind of just goes, "Here you go, Alki. You know, if you ever need to talk to anybody, I know a guy. I know it's really hard to say no sometimes, but it's all right. Again, I don't judge." And then he very deftly, from like a weird spot on the bar, like a drawer of champagne flutes, pulls one out and pours in yellow juice. It's not orange. It's yellow. Um, it's a space orange. They didn't have another name for it. And then yeah, pops a bottle of champagne and pours that in. And Ruby has a nice little mimosa.
I'm gonna cheers, Zama.
Just putting the trail mix in there. It softens it up. I'm not a drunk. Jeez, it just makes it easier. I don't have molars, okay? Just trying to get by here.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have molars, maybe we can find you like a more easily chewable form of trail mix. But does the salt mix like it's pretty salty, right? Does it mix well with the ale?
Oh, it's so good. It's unbelievably probably not healthy, but it feels so good. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, okay.
You
Let's-
know, if you ever wanted teeth, you should talk to Glorpadorp. He's the one that does construct grafts, but I'm sure he has teeth lying around, and he'd be more than happy to pop those bad boys in there.
I mean, I
Glorpador.
like having molars. Molars are pretty
Body
good.
months.
And have like a steak.
Yes, of course. A bird with dentures would look not creepy at all. Yes.
I
Good.
think it would give you a very charming smile. Not that your smile is not already charming.
My beak is very symmetrical. I like it. Okay.
Well, you don't have to have the teeth in the front, just like the molars in the back.
So it's all beak in the front and the parties in the rear, like you would put the molars. Really
Yeah.
strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a nightmare mullet.
Yeah. What was his name? Damn it. Not the not. Oh shit.
Gryffindor?
No, I wrote down nautiloid bartender, but I forgot to write down the bar. What did the bartender say their name was?
Nelix.
Nelix.
Nelex.
Okay. Nelix, thank you for all your great suggestions. We appreciate it. What else were we looking for? Fake Monica?
Trail mix.
Yeah, but there was something else.
No, I think that was it.
Oh, we got I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay. Yeah. So can you point us towards someone who would sell trail mix?
Is there like a grocery store? Is there like a fancy Kroger?
No, I can put in an order for trail mix, but it would have to come again from a planet with trails.
Okay, do you have like a similar thing, like a beach snack?
I have bar peanuts.
Oh,
And
no,
he,
they.
How many?
he pulls one of like little bowls that are kind of long bars, and it has a very dusty handful of peanuts inside.
Okay, do you first of all have any fresh peanuts? Because I feel like we could cobble together something. But B, how many can you give us?
And he kind of just points to the bowl again.
Is that it? That's not gonna help Zama.
Those are complimentary if you want to pay for peanuts. Don't you all have a fabricator on your ship?
Oh, yeah,
don't-
hey Zama, we could just
I don't know what a
make
fabricator
you
is.
some trail mix.
We can make it on the ship.
Yeah, and we can make it into something that you can actually like eat without molars.
Wait, I don't know if I. We'll talk about it later. I don't want to hold this
Okay.
lovely person up here. I remember what I wanted to ask you. So when is the next time the sunlight sensitivity is going to be playing here again? The
Well,
band.
Sunlight Sensitivity hasn't played here for a long time. They're hitting all the MAW stations. They're getting pretty big.
Wait, I thought. Oh, darn it. was
That
really
was in the first session.
I was really hoping they were going to come down here too, but okay, so they don't come down here.
No, look, they're getting real big. They're playing the big out. Well, they're hitting all the mall stations. That's what you gotta do. You gotta pay your dues in this galaxy to get ahead. But yeah, I hear some of their hits are coming through.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get them to sign one of my
Yeah.
records. You know,
My beast
They're
companion is a panther. That's a good one.
Yeah, yes. Have you ever heard "Fun Guy"? The "Fun Guy" song that they do.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
yeah.
I just heard that. Yeah, yesterday. Oh, it blew my. I don't wear socks, but it blew my sandals off. It was incredible. Okay.
Let's get a time check.
It's probably been about half an hour.
Okay.
It
All
feels
right.
like it.
We need to. Yeah, we need to pick up the pace. I feel I drag things on way too long.
Nah, you're fine.
All right, so let's go get. Can we buy a barrel off you?
Of alcohol.
No, just
No,
a barrel.
A barrel.
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy a physical barrel?
Or like a lot of Tupperware.
What's Tupperware?
No, inefficient. And
It's true, but he doesn't seem to have a barrel.
Yeah, jeez.
He kind of goes, like, stomps towards one of the back rooms. Not intentionally stomping, it's just he's a very large metal suit. And comes back out, like, palming a metal keg with its top off. And he goes,
Is this good for you?
uh,
Is this what you like?
yes, can fabricators can they make that much of trail mix?
I guess. I mean, you might overload your computer system doing it all at once, but yeah, I mean, just, respect your machinery. That's all.
Yeah, we'll have a nice chat with Homer.
Yeah.
See if he can't help us out.
Or
He's pretty cool.
yeah, I bet he is. He tried to fucking kill us. Okay, I'll
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's like, that was a different person before. Now you have to think of him as someone different. I know that you have qualms about being friends with him because he attacked us, but you have to understand, like, you know how like computers work, like with ones and zeros. It's either a 1 or a 0,
Oh
but
yeah.
not both. So like before he was a 0 and he tried to kill us, pun intended, and now he's a 1 and he's cool and he's not going to go back to 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means. So I think he's more like Windows Vista and went to Windows 10 because it was a sham. Windows 95 wouldn't have treated me like that.
But Windows 10 has your back.
As long as it doesn't update again at a very inopportune time, like you're getting ready to
But-
start streaming or something, and fucking Windows 10 forces an update, as long as it doesn't do that, I'm in. I will give it
listen,
a
if
chance.
think
Windows
he's gonna
95
ask-
was in sleep mode for 100 years, it'd be grumpy too.
Oh yeah, true.
I think he'll ask her for our permission next time he wants to upgrade, and he'll give us a nice explanation. If I say that we can trust him, and if it ends up that we can't, you can blame me for it completely.
I will trust you that you know it better than me. So, I will trust you. I won't trust it.
I think that
Now.
works.
For the trail mix barrel of destiny.
Okay. If he gives you a lot of trail mix, will you like him more?
We'll go on a trail mix by trail mix basis. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't know what he's brewing up in there.
All right. Let's go back to the ship.
How much does he want for the barrel?
You know what? Just take the barrel. I'll just charge the rest to your ship. I am charging you for this conversation, though, just to let you know. I'm not that kind of bartender that just gives it out for free.
How much does the conversation cost?
20 credits. I'm
Oh.
a really good conversationalist.
Okay.
So that's like 20 copper pieces, right?
No, it's like 20 gold.
What the fuck?
You'll work it off. It'll be fine.
How about...
Well,
We're all working off something here.
time we want to have a conversation, we'll make sure to walk away from the bar.
But if he's giving us the barrel, can you at least wash out the barrel, please? 20 gold worth, please.
Yeah, fine. He takes it in the back, and you hear like a hose spraying. It comes back. It's still dripping wet, but yeah, you got an empty barrel.
Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, at least we got something physical out of it. I'll take it.
This was a weird morning for me. Bye.
How long were they out?
Like the whole time.
Yeah, it's probably getting close to like 45 minutes at this point,
Okay,
especially for like Ruby to finish a mimosa and everything.
It's fair.
We're good.
I think around that time I'd probably wake up.
Okay. So when you wake up, are you walking along the ship, or are you just kind of sitting in your room?
So I've got my game plan. It's very much a Monday for me. So I'm gonna wake up, go to the fabricator, make another cup of coffee, load that thing with sugar, down that, refill it, brush my teeth. I probably have like fuzzy slippers on. I think I have like a pajama outfit now. As one of my synthwave, which is just like funny bunny socks with like the ears.
Like maybe they're like floral socks.
A whole
yeah,
onesie.
Oh, yeah, like floral socks. And I'm just gonna walk with like a toothbrush sticking out of my mouth all the way to the cockpit and just start revving up the engines, getting ready to go.
It's on your way to the cockpit that you see a small figure about your size, kind of coming out of the cockpit.
Do I recognize him?
You do recognize him. It's Racket.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh, well, good thing that I'm a halfling right now. Does it look like they are robbing the place? Like, are they carrying anything, or are they just chilling?
Racket is wearing a like a harness vest, which has like a number of pockets and kind of tools attached to it, and he's carrying a little toolbox. And he looks up at you and kind of goes, "Oh hi, your ship is good to go. Thanks for your business."
I'll take the toothbrush out. Well, howdy, sugar. That was mighty delightful of you to do for us. How are you feeling today, Racket?
Oh, I'm right as rain, ma'am.
Oh, that is a pleasure to hear. Hopefully, you didn't crash into anything too bad last night when you left?
Oh, jeez, did I see you last night?
Oh, yeah, I'll show the ring that you gave me.
Ah, yeah.
You were like
okay.
best friends forever.
Yep, I am. I have to apologize for the way that I get.
No,
But I'm glad that we're friends. It's nice to meet you while sober. I don't often get that opportunity. My name again is Racket. What was your name?
Oh, my name is Razzle. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Razzle, I'm glad that we're friends. If you ever need anything, I run the machine shop on Red's Raft, and I am very competent when it is not nighttime.
Can I insight check this?
Yeah.
I feel like anyone has to say I'm very confident. It might not be. Oh, what is my insight?
I think they're just worried that you'll think that their competency level is equal to what it was when you first met them.
That's fair. That's a 10 flat.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, Racket is honestly wants you to think that they're competent at their job. Yeah, I got a good brain for working out all the different technological stuff, and I got little hands for getting in there. But sometimes it just like you just want to like really just let yourself loose at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, that's why we were having drinks together. It was just so fun. Sometimes you gotta feel big, especially when you feel small.
Yeah, you get it. I just want to feel big sometimes.
Oh, I definitely get that. I mean, that's why you gotta fly to the stars, right? That's the tallest you can get.
As far as we know, I mean, until we find something else. But yeah, no, I don't want to hold you up, Razzle. Your ship's good to go. It's looking good. So, thanks, Razzle. I'm glad we're friends. You go ahead and keep that ring. It looks good on you.
Well, thank you. Before you go, I just have a quick question for you, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. What was the name of the ship we're looking for? The War Dog?
Yes.
Did you happen to work on the War Dog before it left?
I did some repairs on the war. I mean, I've done repairs on everything that's come through this port, but yeah, War Dog came through not that long ago. It's one of those bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they had a fighter jet on there as well, and I did some work on that one. Yeah.
Now, do you, in your professional opinion, think that there was any reason that a ship like that would have broken down mid lane?
I mean, on its own, no, no, it was good to fly. Um, it's probably if it's broken down, it's probably some sort of outside force, whether it got damaged by something or ran into something, or something I don't know, something happened to it. But no, it wouldn't have just broken down just cause.
All right. I mean, uh, thank you for your time. I won't hold you up. I know you are a busy, busy man.
Yeah, I got shit to do, man. You ever come to the top heavy mermaid at night? Racket's gonna buy you a drink.
I will see you there when this job is done. I'll buy the first round.
Alrighty, you get there early and it'll be the first round. Otherwise, it might be the 20th. And that's something that I need to work on as me.
Yeah, I mean, have you had coffee yet? I'm gonna walk like 5 feet backwards to the fabricator and make a new coffee man
No,
from a
it's
mug.
okay. I don't like putting chemicals in my body. I like to be clean, you know.
It's chemicals.
What? No, it's cool. It's cool. Hey, you have a good flight, man. You stay safe, all right?
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. All right. I'll see you. I turn around. I'm just like, everything is chemicals. Everything is chemicals. It just all goes straight to the pilot seat.
Just echoes through the empty halls of this ship. All right, yeah, yeah. The ship is still kind of in like the bay essentially of this workshop. But yeah, you for those of you who are outside the ship, you walk up just as you kind of walk up to this window area. Just as these mechanized arms are kind of moving all over the ship and painting it, essentially spray painting it with several coats of protective paint layers. And yeah, it's this lovely mixture of shades of purple with this white accent to it. And yeah, there's this central white stripe which kind of goes down the middle, and then right below where the pilot's viewport is, um, see the word emblazoned, the Odyssey.
Did Zama and I get back in time to hear Arza shouting about chemicals?
Yeah, you probably would have like it reverberated outwards, and you're just like, what's chemicals?
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean
Yeah,
everything is chemicals.
that person is right. Yeah. All right.
I want to know what stuff I found around the ship.
Yes, absolutely. So, in addition to the numerous weapons and health potions that we listed
Yeah.
last time, you also found two cans. You found in your quarters a mini fridge had actually been built in below the bed, and you found a very old box of Chinese leftovers. Um, I guess they wouldn't be Chinese food in this. It would be Lakshayan leftovers that had severely gone rotten. So you did dispose of those. Although you do wonder if maybe there's some sort of like new bacteria that's growing, but that's not your place. But you do find two cans of Crash. You also found what was it? Yeah, we'll get back to that because that's going to be fun for Cram. You did find two attractor mines, which were in one of the smugglers' holds, which those are an uncommon magical item, wondrous item, which they are small metallic discs which can be thrown to a space within 40 feet. Upon landing, they crackle with electricity and draw objects within a 5-foot cube towards it. If a creature enters the affected area on the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature can't move or take reactions until the start of its next turn. So it's basically like a magnetic mine essentially, but it's not magnetic. It'll pull everything with like this gravitational pull.
Tiny gravitational field.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you an arcane warhead just yet.
It's probably a good idea with
Yeah,
this
just-
crew. I'm not confident that we wouldn't end up in shenanigans.
Goodbye, Red's Raft.
Yeah.
If you guys get a big
Oopsie.
enough ship, I will give you a transmat deck, which is basically a hollow deck.
Now, see, that's dangerous because
We'll just run the. You've all been in a hollow deck this whole time. It's all been an exercise. Zama was right.
no.
Yeah, we already went through the weapons, and there wasn't any armor. The other thing that you find, and it's kind of funny that it was there. So you had explored most of the ship. You did find some of the smugglers' holds. A lot of them were empty. You did find the credits. You found the weapons array. You found the health potions. You found the crash, and you found the what was it? Those were the attractor mines, the 2 attractor mines. The other thing that you find is actually beneath the pilot's chair. You were noticing the pilot's chair was kind of set up just a little bit higher than the rest of the chairs. You're like, oh, maybe it was adjusted because Arza was in half-thin form. But you kind of get a look at the bottom of it, and you press a button on the side of where it's just slightly raised, and it lifts up, and inside is a jetpack. And a jetpack is a miniature version of impulse engines used in starships. It has been fitted with straps and a small handheld controller. While wearing it on your back, you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed. And you can fly with the jetpack for a total of 1 minute each day, after which it cannot be used until it recharges at dawn. So that's in addition to all
that's
the other stuff you
wonderful.
normally found.
Yeah.
Which the ship does have, just to kind of go over so you all know what is on your ship. You have a communications array. It allows you to communicate audio within 1,000 miles and audio visual within 100 miles. You have life pods, which are for individuals. You have 12 life pods because this ship does allow for 8 passengers. So there are enough for the 8 passengers and the 4 of you. There are 6 on either side. If the ship's about to explode, you can use an action to get into a life pod. It will deploy, has basic thrusters and life support and all that. And we'll send out a distress beacon. You have life support, which includes air, heat, and gravity. You can disengage any of those if you wish, if you are in the engineer role. And if any of those are directly targeted, they can be disabled. At which point air and heat will come on, gravity will not. Give me 1 second, I've got a cough. There, didn't want to do that to your ears. You have a probe, which can be controlled by anyone who chooses. And it can be sent, I think it has a 100-mile range on it. And if it goes beyond that, you lose control over it, it stays dormant until you pick it up again. You have sensors, shield generator, obviously, the umbilicus, which allows you to connect from ship to ship. You have the fabricator, you have a sick bay, you have the artificial intelligence, you have a panic drive, which allows you to overload this is something that's on smuggler ships a lot. It allows you to overcharge the dark matter drive to jump early. And I think that's the main stuff for it. The other things for it, it's an engine class 2, which means it can travel pretty far with a dark matter drive. I think it would take 39 days to travel from one side of the galaxy to the other, but allows you 2 jumps before it has to recharge over a span of 8 hours. Let's see. You can move 3,000 feet in a turn if you're in combat or anything like that. Maneuverability of 90 feet, 90 degrees rather. You have 2 auto turrets. You have 60 mega hit points, 8 shield points, and an AC of 15 and cargo of 10 tons. So those are most of the finer details on it. If you have questions at any time about your ship, just let me know. So your ship is good to go. Is there anything else you all would like to do?
I would definitely have disposed of the old leftovers. I think
Absolutely.
given, that since they were just the 2 cans of Crash, I'm just going to put them in, like, essentially the mess hall in case somebody needs them. And then the jetpack I'm going to put away for now, and I'll introduce when everyone's back or whatever.
Okay. All right. Anything else anyone would like to do, or are you all going back to the ship?
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going back to the ship where Ruby and I were just showing up there. I'll get in my room and set the barrel down and whisper really low. Homer.
Yes.
Shit.
I heard you whispering. Would you like to enter whisper mode?
Shit. No, I just want to see if you heard me. All right. Can you use your fabricator to make me trail mix to put in this barrel?
Yes. What do you typically like in your trail mix? Do you like the ones with the M&Ms or the raisins? I know some people don't like the raisins.
Dealer's choice. Let's see what you can come up with that you think I would like.
I can work with that. All right. Yes, I can provide. I can provide 5 pounds of trail mix every hour, if that's acceptable.
I'll just pull open one of the dresser drawers. Can you fill this up? How much is that?
Yes, it will take, and you kind of see like a scan come across it. That will take approximately 6 hours to fill, including time to transport from the fabricator to your drawer.
I'll just pull over. I'll just grab one of the. Do I have like a mini trash can in there anywhere? Small trash can, bedroom trash can.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a small metal bin which probably has a multi-use, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. We'll start out small. Okay. Dump it out. Make sure it's clean. And where do I put this for your fabricator?
Put it by the fabricator.
Okay.
In the mess hall.
Oh,
I can show you where the fabricator is. Is that something you would like?
yes. I'll meet you there.
I see you're trying to produce large amounts of trail mix. Can I help you with that?
Well, I'll have you walk me through it off scene when we get to the mess hall.
That's probably for the best. We don't need to role play this entire trail mix.
No. Just wanted. It was basically just to see if you could fucking hear me, but we got off on a tangent. Trail mix, it does it.
Clippy.
It does that to me.
Zama, I hear everything.
He's Clippy.
Okay. Uh-oh. I missed something.
Clippy,
So yes.
the
Clippy from
old Word.
Yeah.
The paper clip that would be like, it looks like you're trying to
Oh, yeah,
make bullet points. Would you like help with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like you're trying to write a ransom note. Would you like help with that?
Yeah.
By alternating thought, you can change the success.
Yes.
I found a meme recently that was like, it's a little picture of Clippy, and it was like, oh, I see that you are trying to, what does it say? Oh, no, it says, I see that you don't know what the F you're doing, and you need to F off. Would you like some help with that? And I was like, saving to
Yep.
phone.
Nice.
Add that to the meme library.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Very good.
All right.
All right.
Except for me.
So
Can we
go
take
ahead.
a break before we launch off for our mission?
Yes, it's a perfect time for a break. So we will take a 5, everybody, before we come back and send our intrepid crew on their first mission. So we'll be back in 5. Go ahead and everybody get up, stretch a little bit, drink some water, and we'll see you in just a minute.
See you, everybody. Boom. Okay, we're...
We all love. Oh, wow, that's funny. We all love Clippy. Do you believe in life after love? I think it works. We'll be back in just a moment.
She sat there for a bit, and then did we come back?
That's okay. You can
No,
okay.
it's
You
an
can finish
error.
up.
Oh, are we alive?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, heck.
But she started chasing her tail. She does this thing where she gets up on the back of my chair, and then she starts chasing her own tail on the back of the chair, and so she's like clawed into the chair. She like scrambles around chasing her own tail, and it makes so much noise. And I was like, just keep going with your scene for a while because this is really loud. And it worked out, but it was really funny that she's just like literally spinning in circles behind me while we were playing.
Aw.
Nice.
Kitty cat.
Seems right. What was it? What was
Since
your
we've
cat's
gone
name?
live while I was... Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Katie, what's your cat's name?
Gracie.
Gracie. Okay. I keep
Since
forgetting.
we've gone live while I was stuffing my face, I'd like to plug Sam's Club for offering Southern style chicken nuggets, which taste exactly like Chick-fil-A with less like homophobic guilt.
There you go.
What's Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, it's on the bag. It's on the bag.
Wait,
It doesn't
Do you-
exist up here in the north.
that's probably for the better.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
They're
nice.
hate sandwiches. It's
They're
not worth their time.
Sandwiches.
All the foods I'll never be able to
They're-
have. Sonic, Arby's, Jack in the Box, Hardee's.
I was actually having this conversation with my fiance today. I was like, the worst thing about being queer is like not being able to eat Chick-fil-A because it tastes so good. And he was like, well, that's why it tastes so good is because it's like a naughty thing. Like you shouldn't be here, and yet here you are.
Have a nice day. My pleasure.
I'll pray for your soul.
Sort of
All right,
funny.
everybody. Little problems aside, welcome back to Dark Matter and our Ventures in the Verse campaign. We're back from our break. Thank you once again for joining us as our crew begins to set out on their first real mission with their new ship, the Odyssey, their AI Homer, and a whole bunch of shit that Val found, which, in addition to the jetpack, the 2 attractor mines, and the 2 cans of crash, I forgot to mention that, Val, you actually found 4 cans in that mini fridge. 2 were clearly labeled crash. The other 2 had different colored labels on them. They're very similar to the, like, if you think of crash as being like a tall boy, these are similar. They have the pop tops on them, but one of them was red, the other one was blue, and part of them was scratched off. They seem to be older, but both of them had, say, something nanobots. But it seemed to be like 2 variations of the same. Nanobots is spelled the same kind of like font and everything, but it seems like, oh, this is code red, this is blue lightning, or whatever the fuck the other Mountain Dew is. So
I feel
you did
like-
find those as well.
I feel like I found this and I had some sort of like ancestral memory of somebody holding out red and blue in each hand.
Yeah, if you want to do a history, or or just a plain intelligence check. But if you have a
It's the
bonus to
same?
history, you can use that. Okay.
Nope, no, I don't. I was making a Matrix joke, but also I would love to see if I know what this is with an 18.
Yeah, you can't quite, because you know nanobots.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that Bull Creek used. You remember seeing one of those cans that he threw that kind of like started deconstructing all of the stuff that those soldiers were wearing and using.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't remember which one it was. You know that there's 2. You know that there's reconstructed nanobots and deconstructed nanobots. But which is which?
Guess we'll find out.
Guess we will.
On a hunch, I'm gonna say red is probably the deconstructive ones. Red seems like bad.
Or maybe it's a red herring.
Yes, it is
Dun,
full of
dun,
fish.
dun. Full of fish. That's the joke. It's that you open it up and it's just one of those fake snakes comes out.
That's right. Yes.
But it's
Right.
gefilte fish.
Ugh.
It's a real mechanical snake that you can just drop shit. It's a real mechanical snake that you can use to attack things.
A real snake. How much does it cost to get a real snake cursed?
A real
Me-
snake?
A real snake. Just kidding.
Snake.
All
You can play
right.
Blade Runner rules, and real snakes are super expensive. But if you get a replicator snake, you know.
All right, now that we have all gathered up here in the in the cockpit, so we have the address of where we're going, right? Like that junk area.
So you know roughly where you're supposed to go, but Red did promise you an astrogation spell. So just as everything's getting prepped on the ship, you see this very clearly a wizard, and you like stereotypical wizard. He's this old guy. He's hunched over. He's got this metal cane with like a crystal ball on the top, and he's literally wearing like it's tattered, but they are gray robes with like like bright white stars kind of like sewn in at weird intervals. He's got kind of like a pointy hat.
Is he
And-
like on the ship?
Yeah, he's come up onto your ship, and
Oh, okay.
he's
I'm
kind
gonna
of
ask
just
him.
yeah. Good.
I'm gonna ask him if it's somebody's birthday.
I mean, I was assuming he was gonna go play civilians in cities later. He was all dressed up for it.
Yeah, his wizard character in Civilian and Cities. But he just kind of looks at you and goes, it's not my birthday. I
Right.
remember that.
Are you here to entertain?
I'm here to do magic, little girl.
Why are you wearing that costume?
This is my uniform.
Ah, well, we won't take too much of your time. Like, cast away. Ruby, let's not bother the man.
I'm Whistleforth the Wise, and I shall cast great magics upon your ship. Behold! And just like he creates just like a rainbow with his hand. Impressive.
I don't trust him to cast anything on this ship.
I clap excitedly.
Guys.
I don't believe that man has ever been to medical school.
Oh, I went to medical school for sure, but it just wasn't for me, you know? All right. Well, I'm sure you got places to be. Behold! And he kind of taps his staff, and you see this like point of energy kind of come from the bottom of it and just kind of surges through the ship, almost like this shimmer. He goes, well, that's it. All right.
Can I
and
see
yes,
if he cast the spell himself or if it was the staff doing all the work?
just why you gotta ask questions, all right? I work really hard. I don't want to wear this uniform. This is what they make me wear. You understand? I was a respected wizard once.
One.
What's that, Taylor?
You could ask for a new one.
Again, good points. Good points being made. But yeah, to answer your question, before I do birthdays, and he hands you a business card and says, Whistleforth the Wise, available for parties.
Now, what other spells can you use?
Goodbye.
Oh, no!
I wonder if that trick is any good at parties.
Oh man!
And he reaches into his pocket and throws what you assume to be a smoke bomb, and it just farewell. And he throws it, and it just kind of like cracks and goes, and it doesn't smoke or anything, and you just see him kind of shuffling off. God damn it! There's too fucking old guy. Oh shit!
I'm gonna go and pick it up.
Yeah, it's like it's a dud. It's so old that even like the smoke probably just spilled out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna bring it to the fabricator and have it mended.
Oh, okay, all right.
Free smoke bomb.
You're like, what have I done?
You know the phrase, like you don't look a gift smoke bomb in the mouth.
All right, yeah, you take the smoke bomb to the fabricator, and yeah, it repairs, it mends the smoke bomb. So yes, you do have a single use smoke bomb.
All right.
Add that to your inventory, Graham.
All right. This is gonna get thrown at the worst opportunity.
All right.
Probably when I mess up piloting, so no one can see as I steer the ship.
Yes, fill your cockpit with smoke. What could go wrong?
I've just been sitting in the gunner seat watching this all unfold, going.
Yeah, Val's just been there. Val is trying really hard just to do her job, everyone. Just
Meanwhile, somewhere
about.
else on the ship, Zama's fabricating 5 pounds worth of.
Am I even able to get this mended with him doing like the 5
No, I don't think
Do I have
so.
to wait the
He's getting a lot of. It's like pouring out of the machine, like when you hit the jackpot at.
How much has been made so far, and is Zama watching? Because I feel like if I got there with this smoke bomb and just see like all of this trail mix just piling, like funneling out, I would turn the fabricator off thinking it broke.
We're still on our first hour, so I imagine it's very much like a hotel ice machine. He's got the bucket, and it's just pouring.
Yep. Oh wait,
And
bucket. Yeah.
So for those of you who are looking, it is a nice mixture. There's some pecans, there's some peanuts, there are gummy worms,
We
which have
forgot to
been mixed in.
ask if anyone on the ship had any kind of allergies.
Oh yeah.
Yes, are any of you allergic to space nuts?
Space nut.
Not me.
Intergalactic legumes.
Intergalactic legumes. I
No.
love it.
No. Taylor is allergic to pecans, but Ruby is not afflicted with that or my terrible dairy allergy either.
Galactic tree nuts.
All
Everybody
right,
good?
This is truly
I'm just
playing
gonna put the smoke bomb
fantasy.
down and be like, when you get a moment, prepare that. I'll come back to get it by the time we get there. Where we're
Yeah, I
going.
imagine like Zama's maybe put like a note, like busy on the on the fabricator. Um,
I'm gonna go to the ship. I'm assuming we have the spell. I don't know how it works, so I'm gonna assume that if I just punch it and start going, we'll get there.
yeah, so Arza would have at least heard of astragations. It's something you can typically pay for at a lot of maws. There's plenty of wizards out there, high enough level wizards that make a little extra cash on the side by casting astragations. It essentially just magically alters your ship's computer so that your ship knows where to go. You don't really have to do any of the messy work. There's three ways to get an automatic success on a void jump. You jump through a maw, you eat a roach, you'd cast astragations. Otherwise, you run the risk. So yeah, astragations will be cast. So when Arza goes to pull up the computer, it seems to have the spot pointed directly in the galaxy where you will be traveling to, and you do see that the war dog. Pull up the map here. Is just outside of it's between the Elven Empire and the hegemony of man. So it is almost on the other side of the galaxy. You're going to have to skip past the Aviara Holy Lands, the Sepulchre Star. But it's in neither of those empires. It isn't necessarily near any dead magic zones either, so that's good news. But yeah, they seem to be whoever was transporting this, the war dog was definitely trying to skirt any types of official eyes. It was really trying to avoid any of these very clearly claimed boundaries, galactic boundaries.
All right, then I'm gonna turn the ship on and start going.
Yeah, you power the ship back up from its sleep mode, and yeah, if you're all good to go. Arza, you lift the ship into the air, and as it exits the hangar, you fully engage the impulse engines, and it powers up through the atmosphere, and you are once again in the black of space. And as you travel a little bit further from the planet, you engage your dark matter engine, and in fragments of a second, you all condense to the size smaller than an atom, and then reappear in a different spot in space, nearly on the other side of the galaxy, and you resume normal size. And you find yourselves in as was described to you, like a ship graveyard, a scrap yard, really. But yeah, there's pieces of metal kind of just scattered everywhere, floating in the emptiness of space. You see a couple of different shuttles that you can identify of various sizes, a couple of fighters. It just seems like this is where this kind of crap is just dropped off, and it just stays here.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna change out of my pajamas,
Yep.
and I think I'm gonna change my form to that very muscular Crocodile Dundee human appearance that I was
Okay.
working on yesterday.
Yeah.
And I also have like a cowboy hat, got like a vest, tight leather pants, cowboy boots,
Okay.
maybe like a wife beater underneath the vest. That seems human, right?
Sure. Yeah. As far as Arza would know, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So like Arza, you kick your feet up on the dash. You really you've got a very hope and wash thing going for you right now. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you navigate yourselves to the war dog?
Now, so what's the game plan when we get down over there?
Acquire
Suppose
bugs and then leave.
we'll probably want to determine whether or not their life support is functioning, so we know how to board the ship.
All right. Well, who's gonna be the first one on board? Because it's not gonna be me.
I'm fine to take point.
I don't mind going either.
Okay, well, I don't want to.
I will take point.
I don't like bugs. I don't like the fact that people eat these bugs. As long as they stay in whatever container they're in.
I'm sure they were contained. It would be
We don't know what
inefficient to
happened.
transport them
Maybe the
without
bugs took
container.
over the ship. Maybe that's
Highly
the
doubt
reason.
that. But
You
that
don't
brings
know
up
what
an
they're
important
capable
point.
of.
What are we doing about the crew? Are we taking them with us, or are we leaving them?
We should bring them with us, as well as the ship if we can.
Yeah, that sounds good. I agree with that.
Yep, saving all life. Did we ever get an answer to that towing ships through?
As
Walls?
long as they're the shields that you use to jump safely, as long as those are operational,
Yeah.
then we should be able to tow them through a void jump.
Yeah, I would say the only thing you would have to worry about when towing a ship is entering an atmosphere, because that's when gravity starts to take over.
Oh yeah,
But-
we can leave them in space and
Yeah.
Yeah,
let them-
Red's Raft does have that space
Oh, yeah.
elevator, so you can certainly dock it at the station that's outside the atmosphere if you
All
want
right.
to.
Anyone have anything they want to discuss before we go and start hailing them?
If anyone comes at me with a bug, I will attack you.
Also, what is up with all that trail mix?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, did you see my note? I'm very
Yeah.
sorry for holding that up.
Hey, I mean, I was just wondering how much trail mix you're making. For a while, I thought it glitched.
No, this is just a trial run. After this, I'll let it go for a little bit. I just want to make sure I'm in supply and see the variety that Homer can do and all that. Don't worry. It'll all be. It's a phase. It'll pass.
All right. What about you, Val?
What's your question?
Anything to add? In general?
No, I would like to find the ship and determine what status it is in.
All right. Also, I spoke with the mechanic who worked on the War Dog, and I don't believe it's structural damage. At least in their professional
I'm
opinion.
telling you guys, the bugs took over the ship. I don't like them, I don't trust them, and I think they're the problem.
I do not believe that that is possible. You are
Anything
free
is
to
possible.
distrust them, but they don't have the requisite intelligence or appendages to operate a ship.
Maybe they're mutant.
I mean, I would be more worried about if something from another ship that was scrapped here got on board.
That's possible. It's possible
So,
they were attacked. It's possible that they collided with something, or it's possible that they attempted a void jump and were unsuccessful, which is why we should scan first before hailing.
All right. Well, let's do that then, because we're here, right?
Yeah, you all have sailed potentially rather ominously past all of these, I mean, husks of ships, these dead ships just kind of floating there. Some of them do have significant structural damage, showing that they were probably in a battle, different types of carbon scoring on them. But there is one that, as your scans kind of direct you towards, does show signs of life. Everything else out here is absolutely dead. No signs of life whatsoever. You see some ships might have even been picked over. You see like exposed wires and maybe even parts where tools have been used, welding tools and things like that to pull things off. But yeah, you do notice the War Dog, and as you get closer, you can see War Dog is painted rather crudely on the side of it. And you would notice that it is a class renegade. It is a transport ship, which makes it about twice as large as yours, I believe. Transport ships are 500 by 500, but I will double check that. But that does mean that it does have a fighter ship on board, a dog fighter ship, and it does at least have a crew of 5 as you were instructed. And yeah, like I said, your scans show that there definitely is signs of life. Your scanners are not superior enough to tell you more than that, as far as how many. Um, you can also determine that life support is engaged. However, gravity is not.
Can we determine whether or not the life is like humanoid or is it
You
just
can't. It
okay?
tells you that there's life on board, but you can't get a clear reading of what type that is.
That's
All right.
it's
Should we
optimistic.
heal them or just knock on the front door?
If their communications array is down, as read and instructed, I'm not confident that they would be able to respond. Would they still be able to hear us?
Can we see their cockpit?
You can, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to get super close to it, you can kind of get peek into the cockpit. You don't see any lights on, so it is dark within, but
Okay.
like the dark matter shielding isn't up, so it doesn't seem like they were jumping
Okay.
relatively soon.
Do we
But
have
yeah,
any flashlights on board?
yeah, you should all have in your equipment pack something similar to a flashlight.
Just hold up the data pad like when you're using your phone light to look for
Right.
things.
Mhm.
Um, can our sensors tell what temperature it is on board?
Um, it can't, but you would know that because life support has been activated, heat should be on. It should
Okay.
be livable temperature.
Okay. And is life support on throughout the ship, or are there like dead zones?
It shows that it's on throughout the ship, but the gravity is turned off.
It's just the gravity sets off. Okay.
Yeah.
Would we typically want to? This is like an out of character question. If the life support's on but the gravity's off, we should be able to board as long as they have like a sufficient like docking port, without sorry, dogs distracted me. Without wearing the like spacesuit things, or would we typically want to wear the spacesuit things to have gravity? Like I see no gravity not being an issue, right? You would just be able to kind of like push yourself along.
So, are you asking if spacesuits would be necessary for gravity?
Or yeah, well, yeah, if they can generate gravity, or if it would just be like superfluous.
So the spacesuits cannot generate gravity.
Okay.
They're basically, you're if you're going outside the ship, they're good for that. But yeah, you would probably reason that you wouldn't necessarily need the suits, the life suits right now, because you would
Okay.
connect the umbilicus, travel through that, and then you do know that because life support hasn't been disengaged, you do have the option to turn it back on if you were able to get to the command center.
All right.
We can try. I'm not confident they'll be able to hear us, but we should see.
Sure. I'll press the hailing button. I think it has its own button.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
Hail.
says, hail. Hail, friends.
Yeah, it says "Hail and well met."
uh, this is the Odyssey going to respond to your SOS. Over.
You just get static back. You can tell that something went through, but it doesn't seem like there's. It's not even like you hear a click or even any other noise. It's pure static. That
Okay.
potentially their communications might have been disrupted or disabled.
All right.
There is no gravity, and there is a ton of roaches on that ship. If we get on that ship and we find out that the roaches ate them, or that they're just floating all over the place, I am turning around and driving this ship back alone.
Homer, please prevent Ruby from piloting the ship.
No, Homer! No, I don't like roaches! I don't want to be near them. I don't want them to be near me. I don't want them to be floating through the air.
How do you know that they're not very cute? You didn't know what they were a few hours ago. Perhaps
I did
they
know
are
what they
quite
were.
delightful.
I didn't know what people did to them, i.e., eating them. I did not know that was.
What do roaches look like? These
Um,
roaches.
Yeah, so these roaches, I believe, are arachnids, technically. I believe they do have 8 legs.
Oh, never mind. I hate
worse.
him too.
They had their champion has been lost.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they're fucking awful. Let me see if I can pull up a roach.
What if they're wearing little funny hats? Well,
Oh,
You can probably put
yeah.
funny hats on them, but they're still gonna be awful.
Ew.
So they've got all
Well, that's
sorts of
kinda
like
cool. They're
pincers
little
and shit.
tarantula things.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're little nasty boys.
All right, I'm
Um,
still green. But
I'm sorry, they're
not having
they're-
a good time.
they have 10 appendages, so they are not arachnids, but they have little
That's
pincers in their
worse.
tails.
That's worse.
No, more is always better.
No, the more
Goodbye.
legs you add, the creepier it is when they move. That's just the rule. That's how it works.
Taylor is green. Ruby is hard red.
So, what was I gonna say? Man, I forgot. Oh, if you find yourself in distress because they are not contained, you can come back here, but please do not leave because then we would be stranded as well. I might take that personally.
I would definitely take that personally.
All right, I won't leave because I like you guys, but you might not see me for a couple days because I take a camp underneath my bunk forever.
If you'd like, I could engage No Man Left Behind mode, in which case the ship will not operate unless all of you are aboard.
Can you engage all roaches left behind mode if they're not contained?
Absolutely not. We need that cargo.
I don't want
Is
those
there a way
roaches.
to disengage all man left behind mode if the other 3 crew are dead?
No men left behind. All roaches left behind. That's fine.
We can't. There's even if there isn't an all roaches left behind mode, we can't do that because we need to have the cargo aboard.
But only if they're only all roaches left behind if they're not contained. If they're all floating around with no gravity in there.
Then
We'll
we might
just-
have to siphon them onto the ship.
We'll
You're
just use a
gonna have to
big
deal with that.
we'll use a big dustpan and we'll scoop them all up and funnel
You
them in.
were my favorite, Val.
Listen, I thought what I was going to say was going to help. I realized I made things worse. I'm going to go now. And I'm going to engage the umbilicus for all of you. Have a good trip.
He's not really going. Don't let him lie to you. He's doing both.
Should we have Homer prepared to, like, I know that he can attack things, like, should we have him ready to attack if anything tries to get on board our ship to, like, commandeer it?
Is
That's
that a
probably a good
functionality
idea.
you have now that the automatons are gone? Keep in mind, I didn't see what he did to you, so I have no idea what he can do.
All I know is bopped me on the head with an automaton.
I can engage basic defense functions if that's something you all would be interested in doing.
How about a can of Raid?
Is that a gaming thing? Do raids? Is that?
Bug spray.
Oh, do you, Ruby? I'm sorry that you feel this way about insects, but I suppose they're technically, are they insects? I don't know. These decapods. But I assure you that they mean no harm. They're just trying to survive, and people eat them.
They have too many legs.
What's too many, really?
They're creepy crawly. I don't like it. Sometimes I imagine them crawling all over my skin.
The moments I wish I was playing a druid and could just turn into like a dog size.
I would step on you.
Oh darn. I'm just gonna go to the umbilicus. Like,
Yeah.
this discussion is going nowhere, and I really don't have time to waste. I'd rather get paid and not be here.
I'm going back to my room and I'm strapping on the jetpack and I'll meet Azra. I don't know what your name is right now, but I'll meet them
Arza?
at the.
Oh,
did I
shoot,
say
I should
Azra?
probably come up-
Arza? God damn it.
I should probably come up with a new name for this one. Name's Jerry Wowman.
Did you say Wowman?
Wowman. Like, wow. Man, that guy's cool.
Oh, not like woman, because that's what it sounds like.
Whoa,
Wow.
man.
Whoa.
Maybe it's a work in progress. Nice.
Yeah, so
I
I disappear for a minute and I come back with a jetpack.
I would also like to
Val,
disappear
where'd
for
you
a
get a
minute.
jetpack?
Found it on the ship.
Did you find anything else on the ship?
A couple of cans of crash. These, and I pull out the mines. What are they called? Not graviton mines.
You had attractor mines.
Attractor mines. I pull out 2 attractor mines and I put them in like pockets on my belt. And then these, and I have the red and blue cans.
Are you equipping any of the other weapons that you found?
No, I don't want to take the big ones. I'm fine with the ones I have, I think.
Okay. If ever you would like to, I can remind you of what those were, because you did have a couple of grenades and a couple of the bigger guns, a couple of melee stuff as well.
Yeah.
So if that is ever something.
I mean, I don't think I know about any of these, so I can't take them.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah, no,
haven't-
I told them. Well, I don't know. Did you ever come look at it?
No.
All the times that I was like, smuggler ship, found some guns. I don't think anyone actually ever came and looked at it because I kept trying to tell people about it, but they were busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we've only had the ship for like 12, 14 hours.
Oh my god, I love that. That like, there's going to be another point where I'm just like, oh, here, and I take someone to a hallway and press a button, and it's just like,
It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice cachet.
good to know. Good to know.
I would like to state for the record that I know nobody else is wearing their spacesuits, but Ruby is actually absolutely suited up. Made sure all zippers and seals are connected and just. Ugh.
That's fair.
Man, it would be really a shame if one of them got in that suit with you. It takes at least 5 minutes to get off.
Don't fall asleep tonight. Don't fall asleep tonight. Don't fall asleep.
My plan, for the record, is that if we find a bunch of them loose, I'm going to attractor mine them so that they are contained. Hopefully.
Do the attractor mines detonate?
it
No,
just pulls
they
things
basically
in.
pull
Okay.
everything in.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a bug trap,
perfect.
theoretically.
Well,
Very good idea.
oh, Captain, my Captain, lead the way.
Oh, you designated me captain.
I'm
You
pretty
were
sure you're the
already
one that woke
designated
everyone up
here.
this morning.
I did wake
So,
everyone
maybe.
up this morning.
Didn't Red say you were captain?
You weren't there for that.
Oh, right. Just kidding. Scratch that.
The
I mean, to be
personality,
honest,
the personality profile does fit.
I mean, I doubt anyone would trust me as captain.
We all
That's a-
have our own
Got it.
strengths.
It's a good assumption.
His
I just like
strength
reach
is
over and
threatening
press
me
the
with
button to open the door.
bugs. Jump back.
So there's like almost a room between the umbilicus and the rest of the ship. That's essentially your airlock. The umbilicus does extend from the airlock, but yeah, it's also where you dispose of your trash and also, anybody you don't want on board. So you all are able to get into the airlock, which, when the umbilicus is extended and connected, does not drop you all into space and does still have the life support. However, when the door to the umbilicus opens and you start to travel through, that is where your gravity ends. So you are all essentially now under the effects of the levitation spell. So
They're bugs.
I have
Pull
no
ourselves
wings.
along.
I have no wings. I have no
Just grab the
wings.
wall.
Yep.
Walk with your hands.
I think I would have my pistol drawn,
okay,
so I'd be like pulling with one hand.
I'm gonna be
Alright.
rowing. I'm gonna be rowing with my staff.
Yeah, maybe put a flashlight so I'm like holding a flashlight like in my teeth. So,
Yeah,
I'm
you're,
assuming
you're
it's
not in the
dark,
void
right?
of space. There is air, so you can essentially pull your way. Very, ISS sort of. You can still use momentum and the surface tension of the air around you to travel, but your speed is essentially going to be halved if you are going to be traveling. I think it's target can only move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach. Would allows it to move as if it were climbing. Okay, so yeah, you have your climb speed, whatever that would be.
Ah. I don't think I have anything special for that, so... Man, that's
Yeah.
slow. 15 feet. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, you all are floating through. You get to the other end, and the the connection point is closed at basically the other side of the umbilicus, the port into the war dog is closed. How would you like to access that?
I've got some lock picking tools.
That would work. Go ahead and roll with those.
Oh no, it broke in D&D Beyond.
Oh no.
Oh no! There we go.
Okay. Yeah. Um, a lot of times these types of ships don't really assume that anybody's going to be breaking in from the outside. Um, so yeah, with it was just basic 10. You open the door. You're able to once again. I think we established your lock picking tools are very hacker lock picking because not every most locks aren't your typical
Yeah.
keyhole. They're digital. But yeah, within a couple of moments, Arza is able to open the the hatch on the other side, and you all are able to pull yourself through into the opposite um, hat or
Hatch? Yeah.
yeah, hatch. The opposite room from yours.
Porthole?
Yes.
Airlock.
Sure. Porthole. Airlock.
The
That's the
people
word. Thanks.
injection port.
Okay.
Airlock.
Airlock.
So yeah, you get into the opposite airlock, and you're able to travel through the door on the other side. Uh, there doesn't seem to be a lot of light where you are. It does have that kind of emergency red light is emitting through the halls, but that doesn't give you a lot of field of vision. So we're going to consider this to be dim light. So if you do not have dark vision, you are essentially going to be at disadvantage for visual stuff.
Does that count the flashlight?
If you're using a flashlight, you
Yeah.
can absolutely depending on what you have, you might have a flashlight or even a flare, or even bottled lightning, which is something. Um, yeah, so if you're using a flashlight, you can whichever ways that's facing, consider that normal light. So you have exited essentially into what is a long hallway. It's very quiet on board this ship. There's a very low hum, which you know to be the dark matter engine, which is still powered up because the ship's still here. You once again know that if a dark matter engine ever does fully power down, it creates a singularity in a black hole, um, destroying the ship and everything else around it. So you do know that the ship's still powered on. You can again breathe. You're not freezing to death. So this is all it's all still on, but yes, somebody's turned off the gravity and has kind of put this ship into emergency mode. So you've got left you can head down the hallway, which would be towards the back of the ship, and you have right, which would probably be towards the helm.
So, um, in order to have like a computer function, does a ship have to have an AI?
No, most ships don't have AI, which
Okay.
just makes them manual. To have something happen, you need to be at a data point to control.
Do I see one nearby?
To be trying to control.
I'm sorry, you kind of roboted out for me. What was the
Oh,
question?
sorry, I just got something. Internet connection is unstable. What are you looking to do? There's data points at every door, which you do see a couple on either end of the hallway. But to actually have control over the ship requires like something
I
at the helm
just,
or in the engine.
yeah, I just want to access the logs and see if I can determine what it was that happened prior to this.
Okay. Yeah. You go up to one of the data points one by one of the doors. Um,
I tell them what I'm doing quietly.
yeah. Do you have a data pad?
Yeah, I have a data pad and I have is an interfacing rig. Is that what I need to
Okay.
be able to attach it to? I have that. Is it came in my equipment, but I don't actually know what that does.
An interface rig includes everything necessary to connect to a device without an accessible interface. A datapad accessor loaded with complicated algorithms, plethora of wires and connectors, and a heavy magnet in case things get dire. Such a rig is necessary to gain unauthorized access to many systems. So yes, absolutely. Using that in your datapad, you're able to run a brief diagnostic and just see the most recent commands, which have kind of been passed through the ship's computer. And you can see that there was a command which was passed down from the helm with the captain's authorization. It actually does say, like in brackets, captain authorization to disable the gravity. And
Can
then you do see another one right after that, which says emergency mode, and that's like in all capitals. Once again, in brackets, it appears very much as just like just data kind of running down a screen.
Hmm. And there's no like um, damage reports. There's no like communication about we've collided with something or we've taken fire or anything like that.
Don't see anything like that. And even when you looked at the outside of the ship, there doesn't did not seem to be any structural damage to it.
It appears the captain powered down the gravity and put it into emergency mode. That's all I can tell.
Well, I'm assuming they had a good reason for putting the gravity off.
Hopefully.
So, since we're at a fork, I'm going to stand right here, and y'all can go either way, but this will prevent anyone from sneaking behind you or give us a line of communication.
You're going to stay at the airlock?
Well, I'm right at the fork where it takes a left or a right, so at least I can come running down the hallway for you.
Can I do that?
Well, I mean, if you're doing that, then I'll go with them. Just I think we
Okay.
should have someone so we don't all have our backs exposed.
The furthest I could stay away from a ton of roaches, the happier I will be.
Is there a way to like restrict access to our ship from the exterior, like how he broke into theirs? Or would they just have
Um,
to do the same thing?
I would say that there's probably a locking system which is on both ends of the ship. That when you left, you could say you locked it, the same as
Yeah.
locking your door.
We
Okay.
also
And
told
especially with
Homer to protect the ship, so I mean,
yeah,
True, true.
yeah, you had your AI kind of guard dogging the ship, so yeah.
Okay.
Will, do we know what kind of container that these things were supposed to be in? Were we told of?
Would Zama have ever dealt with roaches before?
What other capacities are they used for? Are they used for anything religious or like
Strictly
second?
for void jumps.
Probably not. Then
Okay.
he might
Are
know
they
them.
illegal?
He might know them because they're
Yes.
creatures. Like because, but
Sure.
Arca
You could
might.
roll a nature check.
because I did. But he has a dog. He has gone to medical school, so I
Okay.
don't know if
Yeah.
they have any kind of shit like
Yeah.
that.
If he went to medical school, he certainly would have learned about roach addiction. So you can roll nature or medicine.
Okay. Oops, sorry, chat. Slide that over there. Probably definitely medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would know that yes, roaches absolutely are illegal, and they are specifically used for void jumps. It's cheaper than astrogation, essentially, which is why a lot of people use them, and people don't want to get lost in the middle of space or accidentally jump into a black hole. So roaches, he would know that the name for them is Onculauri radavitus, also known as roaches. They are addictive and dangerous. Roaches are sentient and psychic creatures, and their violent deaths gradually wear down the psyche of those who eat them. If a creature consumes a roach, it has to, in game speak, save it becomes addicted and gains one randomly determined indefinite madness trait. So Zama might have actually seen somebody with roach madness come through the medical center more than once. Um, which is a main reason why they're illegal. It's not that people don't want them to be safe, but yeah, roach trade is also very profitable in the spaces outside of the main boundaries of different civilizations.
Okay.
So
If
yeah,
if
there's
I
exhaustion levels. Yeah, it's real. It can get real messy.
if I know relatively like what kind of container they typically are have to be kept in, then
Yes. So you probably would have seen a roach come through just so you can identify it. in medical school. So they would typically come. A single roach is almost in like a little life pod of its own. They're about that big, and it's just a glass tube with metal on either side, so that you can just pop one right in your mouth and crunch. And to transport in mass would probably be a whole bunch of those little things. They probably wouldn't all be loose. They'd probably be separate for individual sale,
Okay.
fun sized.
Fun size. Okay, then I'm gonna, as Val's explaining what she gathered from the ship. I guess I'll like to cast locate object and try to locate a large number of these things, or a
Okay.
cluster, or however you deem that to be available, based on what you told me.
Yeah. So spoken located as long as you've seen close to 30 feet. Yeah, you absolutely would apply to that. You would know that these things would be towards the back of the ship, logically, probably where the cargo hold is. And
Okay.
so the ship is long. It's yeah, I did determine it's 500 by 500. So you could probably reason that towards the front is the helm, towards the back is the cargo hold. They are definitely being held towards the back, most likely in the cargo hold.
Okay. And that would be a left or right,
That would be a
presumably,
left.
from where. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll touch Arza's shoulder, and yes, left is. I have a feeling that they're that way.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, it's not exact, but
No, I meant presuming they have not escaped.
there's something alive here. Let's hope at least they are alive.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, if they are already all dead, that means we get their share of the pay, which means we pay off our ship faster.
Yes, and hopefully save people. We can hope that they're here too. Maybe they fell asleep, or I don't know. Maybe they found out that their replicator can make trail mix too. Sorry, I'm really on that kick lately. I don't know what it is. Weird. Okay, yeah, this way.
All right. So Val's leading. Ruby, you staying here? Are you coming with us and picking up the rear? What do you want to do?
Of course, going with you. I see the merit in leaving someone behind to keep an eye on the airlock and to watch behind us, but I don't think we need more than one person.
Ruby, fake Monica, do you say you want to stay here?
Yeah, I don't want to have to go near the roaches.
All right, if we
All right.
communicate that they're all bundled up, you'd be willing to come in then?
Yes, I think that would be probably okay.
It would be nice to have you there. So we'll.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely not like to get shot again if things get hairy.
Yeah, especially hairy roaches. That would be just unnerving.
Sama,
I tried to make a joke.
Do we hear? I'm gonna listen to the hull. Like, I'm gonna put my ear to the hull and see if there's any vibration of like people moving within the ship that aren't us.
Sure.
So I'll, like, hold up a hand for like everyone to stop moving and stop talking.
Okay. Go ahead and do perception.
Okay.
If you have any bonuses for hearing,
Well, that's an
which Zamo actually would.
Yeah, I'm letting him go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Save it.
For all that you can tell, you're just getting kind of the hum of the dark engine, the dark matter engine, which is kind of just very lightly reverberating through the entirety of the ship.
Well, there's no voices that I can hear, so that's odd. Should we try calling out now that we're on their ship?
Well, it's kind of creepy right now. We should probably just go see.
Oh, yeah.
Find
I mean, I've
someone.
had my gun drawn since we walked in here.
I'd prefer not to make too much noise just in case there's someone or something else aboard that we are not expecting.
Agreed. All right. Ruby, we'll be back.
I'll be here probably.
Be safe.
Remember to scream real loud if something bad happens.
Oh, trust me, if something bad happens, you will not know.
I will not know.
You will not know.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. So the majority of you, Ruby excluded, start going left down the hallway. You're making your way slowly as the lack of gravity is kind of impeding your movement. But yeah, as you kind of move along the walls, you're able to kind of float your way down. Um, yeah. When you get towards the end of the hallway, you see it kind of comes to a right. There's a large hatch, which you can see definitely clearly leads to the cargo, and it seems to loop around in a U and go back up the other side of the ship. Almost as that there's two parallel hallways on either end of the ship, with the kind of like a central, what you probably imagine is where the dark matter engine is, in the center of that hallway, kind of running the length of the ship. Um, and then you also do see the crew quarters are on your left as you're moving along. Um, Ruby, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I don't care for that shit at all.
Okay. Um, Ruby, you think you're just kind of floating there. Um, you think maybe you hear some noises coming from the other end of the hallway, the opposite end from where everybody else went. Is it scratching? Maybe. It's your imagination. It's fine.
Mm-mm.
The rest of you, what would you like to do?
As we pass by the crew quarters, I would like to stop and take a look inside and see if anyone is there. But I'll ask the other two if they're amenable to the idea first.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect to me. While we're doing this, I'm going to let gravity take me up to the top of the roof, and I'm going to try and hide right in the ducts. Well, not in the ducts, but like above common viewpoint of things that were like coming.
Yeah. So it's maybe a 10 foot tall hallway.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we're imagining that these crew quarters are, 5 foot doors, you're above that. Um,
It,
yeah. So Val, you open the first door, and it slides open with a whoosh, and you look inside, and doesn't seem to be anything. There's the bed is unmade. Whoever stayed there was very messy, very unkempt. Um, Once again, there's a couple of crash cans on the floor, some wadded up tissues, and yeah, it's just there's you very quickly determine there's nothing in here, so you close the door. There are 5 quarters altogether for the crew. Um, are you just going in order down the line?
Yes, I will just in case go ahead and draw my little repeater and just kind of have it in one hand as I like access each door and kind of do like the peek and sweep sort of thing. Like I won't just like fire at anything that moves or anything like that, but I'll have it out in case I need it.
Okay. Yeah, you open door number 2, and the shelves behind the bed have there's a knife on it, a couple of photos of whoever stayed in this place with some friends, maybe family, a couple of magazines. Definitely a little more tidy than the previous person. But again, nobody in there. You take a peek into the bathroom, nobody in there. Door 3, a lot of the same. A couple of books on the shelf. Um, just personal stuff. This person seemed like they had a deck of cards that they were playing on their bed. There's an unfinished game of solitaire, which is kind of laid across their pillow. Door number 4,
It's not floating.
I guess the cards would be floating. Yeah, I guess they would be. So it's a very bad floating game
It's
of
just
solitaire.
cards everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So I guess, yeah, everything in this case would be floating as much as it could. If they're on the shelves, they might just get to the top
Yeah.
of the shelf, and that's it.
That wasn't a gotcha.
No,
That
it's
was like a what's going on in this room that the cards aren't floating. Sorry.
remembering that things float can be hard sometimes, so I appreciate the
Totally
reminder.
fine. Yep.
Yeah, door 4. When you go to open that, um, you you can probably hear movement on the other side. I think Val's probably trained enough for this. So there's something on the other side of this door.
Yeah, I have pretty good perception. Um, can I? So if I hear movement and I put my ear to the door, can I tell how many legs it has?
Um,
Like, is it bipedal movement, or do I hear like skittering of like the animals?
they wouldn't be on the floor, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah. So you would hear something kind of brushing against the other side of the door.
I'm just gonna turn back to the other two and like hear something, kind of like gesturing, not saying anything. Um, oh, actually, I don't have to do that. I'm going to any creature you can see, provided the creature. I guess I can only do this one at a time. So first I'll turn to Zama, and I'm just going to look at you, and you're going to hear my voice in your head. I'm going to say, "There's something in there. It's moving. I can hear it. Should I just open the door, or should I try to speak to it through the door to declare that our intentions aren't negative? And as my action, I'll allow you to return without having to speak it out loud. You can respond to this message."
Yeah. This is very fun. I like this. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how many words do I have?
However many you want.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead. Give you guidance
Ooh,
for
okay.
your.
So I love it when this happens. I asked, do I open it or do I try to speak to them through the door? Uh, so I'm not sure what he meant by yes.
Just yes.
Just yes. Okay. I'm going to like lean against the door so that I'm really close to it and say, "Is anyone alive in there?" So I'm not like yelling through or anything. I'm just hoping that like it'll kind of carry through the solid matter.
Yeah. Um, Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh, critical fail. Oh no.
Uh,
Of course.
Oh
And
no!
I can't guidance that. It wouldn't matter anyway.
Okay. Um, when you say that, you're like pressed up against the door, and just when it's kind of the sound reverberates through, you feel the door slam kind of open, just slams to the side, and you kind of go tumbling in. You don't hit the floor because you're still floating, but you do see someone on the other side, and it's in a flash with that they have a knife in their hands, and they go to stab you with it.
Oh,
But they are
nice.
going to swing wild, and they are not going to hit you because they also are floating. Let's
we're
jump back
having a
to
hard
Ruby
time.
real quick. Um, Ruby, it's at this point when those sounds aren't in your imagination. There's some sort of scratching coming from the right side of this hallway. And in addition, you start hearing a growling noise. And
Well,
as
at
you look
least
down the
I
hallway,
know that roaches don't growl.
yeah, roaches probably wouldn't growl. And roaches also wouldn't be this big. You,
Okay.
you start to see the silhouette of something, um, kind of lightly illuminated by the red light of this hallway. And the red lights are kind of intermittent, so it you kind of get a glimpse of it as it's traveling along the wall, making this scratching noise, making this growling noise. And as it
So,
comes,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as it hits the lights, you kind of just catch like a glimpse of red here, a glimpse of red there. That's seems to be shimmering off of this thing's exterior.
Oh, so it's like a really big roach.
It is small. in size technically.
But it's like solid. It's not like furry.
You can't quite tell exactly what its exterior is. It almost looks like maybe it's fur, but almost looks like maybe it's scales.
Okay. Does it know that I'm here? Does it sense me? Do I know that it knows? Do I know that
You
it
would
knows
not
that
know
I
that it
know?
knows, but it is traveling towards you.
Okay. I'm gonna like slowly back towards where my friends are, trying not to catch its attention.
As you start to do that, it starts to travel even faster
Oh
towards
God.
you, and it is. You can now see clawing along the walls, so it is traveling at its normal speed. Um, and you kind of hear it almost tearing into the metal as clank 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 as it's now running towards you.
And it definitely is like gonna hurt me.
I didn't say
I
that.
don't know who's to say. Um, um,
All right, we're gonna
uh,
jump back to everybody else. Um,
okay.
so Val, someone has just tried to stab you.
I'm
We
muted.
will.
Sure did. Yeah, so I kind of like, I had been like, I figure since I was floating, I was kind of bracing myself on either side and like pulling myself at the door. And that's why when it went away, I kind of like fell in, but didn't fall, like you said, kind of just like floated in. And then someone like stabbed at me and I like kind of like try to like roll impotently to the side because you can't change your momentum when you're floating. Uh, and I want to look at them and just like perceive if they look to be just like an average like humanoid type creature or amoeboid or whatever.
Yeah, half elf man, red haired, with kind of like stubble, a little bit, dressed. Um, I would say they're normally dressed. It's common smuggler's clothes, if you want to call them that,
Yeah.
but kind of like sweat stained. There seems to be a sort of panic about them, very wide eyed as well, and he seems to have stabbed first, but now like his jaw has kind of dropped, and he looks to all of you and he goes, "Who are all of you?" And I think with that, we're going to end a little bit early because it's 4th of July. So we will stop right there.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yay.
So what's
Hooray!
running towards Ruby?
Right, thanks. I
What's
Yeah.
really
this
hope
guy's
it's that.
deal?
I really hope it's that guy's dog or something that's not gonna like
Space dog.
space dog.
Glad I wasn't the one left behind.
Something evil
Well,
like a Furby.
as soon as she realized that it wasn't a roach, she was like, "All right, I can deal with this." It
I'm
was a
fine.
huge, it was a huge breath of relief. She was like, "I can take whatever's coming at me as long as it's not a creepy crawly bug."
I didn't
That's how
say
I
it
feel
wasn't a
about
giant roach. I mean, they've kind of
Sure.
got like little hair on them too.
Does Ruby have names for her fists?
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh my
Yep,
and
god,
Sapphire.
yes!
Hospital bill.
Yeah.
Hospital bill. I like T's and P's. I like that.
Nice.
I didn't think of that before, but now that you mention it, yes, she does, and they are thoughts and prayers.
Nice.
They're so ineffectual. Um,
Oh,
No.
all right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us for another session of Ventures in the Verse, our Dark Matter campaign written by the amazing Mage Hand Press. If you enjoyed what we did, or you think you could do it better, definitely check out Mage Hand Press's website. They have this amazing book. You can get the PDF. You can get the book. I got the book because I like it better because I can put tabs in it. But definitely check them out. Support them. They are a phenomenal publisher of third-party D&D materials. And yeah, thanks for joining us along. We'll have our players do their thank yous, yeah, personal shout outs, whatever they want to do. And then we'll let you all enjoy some fireworks, maybe. I don't know. Just enjoy the holiday weekend, if nothing else. Eat a brat. I don't know. Taylor, I will start with you this time because
okay.
Kyle's got to do his wrap up. So, Taylor, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I just got an Elgato in the mail, so I'm really for real gonna start streaming. You will find me here on Twitch I've been active in the chat, so if you saw me, it's lives underscore and and underscore lemons, as in like when life gives you lemons. You'll also find me on Twitter without the underscores, lives and lemons, and I forgot to tell Kyle that, so it's not
Yeah, I see
reflected
that.
on my.
Okay.
It still says fanfare pal, but that's fine. And yeah, I'm gonna start with Wednesdays and Fridays. Come check me out. I'm gonna play Dream Daddy at
Awesome.
first, and then I'm gonna go into a little bit of Animal Crossing.
Yes, check Taylor out. She's lovely. She's entertaining. She's a good person. Support her.
I try my best.
She
I'm
does.
LGBT friendly.
Yes,
Come share
Taylor's
your
everything friendly.
bisexual feelings with me.
Thank you, Taylor. All right. Next, Graham. Tell us what
Hi
you love yourself.
everyone. I'm Graham, or Graham Crackers. You can find me here every Saturday from 5:30 to whenever we end. You can also find me on Fridays at my own channel at twitch.tv/Graham Crackers, playing in the Goldshine Investigations, with DM'd by the wonderful Anon E. Moose. Otherwise, you can find me typically on the Open for Adventure channel for upcoming things that I can't reveal. Uh, Outside of that, yeah, that's all I've got. Oh, you can find me on Twitter at GrahamHall802.
Awesome. Yes, Graham, another amazing person in real life and also online. Check him out. He's a lot of fun. He's good. He's good. He's good people. And another amazing person who I'm so pleased to have, blessed really to have in this game, Katie.
Hello, I'm Katie Quixotic. You can find me everywhere as Katie Quixotic. Apparently, people named Katie don't necessarily like that word that much, which was good for my branding. I'm all over the place and do things everywhere, so you're probably just going to want to follow me on Twitter. I yell a lot about things that I like and things that I don't like there, and sometimes I'm funny. And I like playing tabletop games, so yeah, do a lot of that too. I don't like talking about all the stuff I do individually because I would just be here for like half an hour, so thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate. I like streaming games because you create all these memories when you play any type of tabletop or any type of role playing game, I should say, and then you want to talk about it, but you have no one to talk about it with except for the people who already know what happened. So that's why I like streaming games, and I really appreciate you sharing in the story with us.
Yes, absolutely. Check out Katie on her Twitter. She absolutely is a very funny, engaging person. And check her out wherever she's playing because she's a phenomenal role player. She's an amazing DM. She's an amazing player. And yeah, if you need somebody for your game, you couldn't do much better. I was gonna say you could do a lot worse, but that's not a nice thing to say. You couldn't do much better.
Oh,
And the person, of course, with whom this channel would not be, this game would not be, Kyle. Tell us about your lovely self.
Hi, Kyle. I'm here at Stalwart on the Twitter stuff. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much again for running this. I love this and look forward to it. And more prepared this time, and hopefully next time. Knock on some fake wood. And yeah, it's so awesome getting to play with you guys, and I see this adventure definitely taking off, and just super pumped about it. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Jillian was here. She's probably still here, I think. Jillian did all the character art for the characters you see around yonder, and appreciate that. Thank you, Jillian. Amazing artwork. And yeah, thanks everybody for swinging by. Right now, this is the only thing definitive every week we have going on. Next week, we're going to be starting a D&D series on the crossover that D&D Beyond did with Legends of Runeterra, the Dark Waters of Bilgewater stuff. We're gonna be checking that out. Little mini series on that because that's out. That's actually only limited time on D&D Beyond, so we're gonna try to get a mini series in or mini campaign in on that stuff before it disappears. Other than that, check out Stalwart Initiative on YouTube. Really trying to do that. I'm trying to get out at least 1 or 2 things a week on there. It's all educational stuff. And we have both of our other episodes of Ventures in the Verse of this series on YouTube in the Stalwart Archive, separate channel. I'm trying. It's a lot of backlog with campaigns and putting them all in there. But Ventures in the Verse is all caught up. We have both the other episodes on there. So Stalwart Archive on YouTube, you'll find it. It's there. So other than that, yeah, just have a happy holiday. There's a lot of craziness going on, and it seems to be seeping its way into our TTRPG community, and that is unfortunate because there are wonderful, wonderful people here, such as these fine people that have blessed me with their presence and hanging out here, and a community I am dedicated to keep safe, and yeah, so let's all stand together and be united and spread positivity, and just be good. Just be good to each other, please. And let's come out and hang out with us again. See everyone next Saturday. Have a wonderful week and take care of yourselves. Bye, everybody. I think. Stop.